Direct from us to you. It's the AM Show.
Okay, so how serious is this escalation in violence? We're 17 minutes after 6. Joining us now is Otago University International Relations expert, Robert Patman. Robert, good to have you back on the program again this week.
Good morning, Duncan.
India, Pakistan, how serious is this? Because they both hold nuclear weapons, don't they?
It's a very serious situation and probably the worst incident. Well, certainly it's the first airstrike by India against Pakistan in the Kashmir region since 1971. And both have nuclear weapons. Both have refused to sign the non-proliferation treaty. And the incident, the Indian airstrike, was seen as retaliation for an incident in which a suicide bomber killed 40 Indian military personnel in the Indian-controlled part of Kashmir about a month ago.
Okay, so the tensions are high, but it's very tensions are always high there, aren't they? But they don't often go in with the airstrike, or indeed use these weapons that they have there. The weapons just sit there as a result of this history between the two.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Kashmir is the problem. Both claim full sovereignty over the area. India is a much bigger player, controls 2/3 of disputed territory, and Pakistan controls the other third. And there are militant groups which India says are trained by Pakistan military forces. And Pakistan, after this airstrike against a militant target, they've vowed that there will be retaliation. They deny that they support the militant group, but they said they will be retaliating.
And that's the concern, isn't it? There's got to be messages coming out of Hanoi in Vietnam too about this, because the other countries that hold nuclear weapons are just down the road, holding the summit, the second summit, the historic summit, which is Trump and Kim Jong-un. You see, so what will they say? They'll have to address this as well, wouldn't they?
Yes, well, I think it may intensify the pressure on the American side. Mr. Trump has been downplaying expectations, but the whole point of this dialogue is to get the North Korean dictatorship to denuclearize the Korean peninsula. And I think, if anything, there'll be increased pressure now on the American side to push Kim Jong-un towards a more concrete definition of what denuclearization entails. We should recall that Kim Jong-un at the previous summit declared that North Korea would forego further nuclear tests, which of course is welcomed by the American side, but would begin the process of denuclearization. But he didn't specify how long that process would take.
That's called pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. I mean, if you believe that, then we're cowardly, aren't we? I don't think we believe that. They've said it about 328 times since 1990, haven't they, that they're going to do this?
Yes, and you know, it really is the ace at his disposal, Kim Jong-un. His father and grandfather invested a lot of resources in developing nuclear capability. And I think, excuse me, Kim Jong-un is very conscious that his dictatorship, the legitimacy of it, rests to some extent on presenting himself as a strong leader who's got military capabilities, which put some fear into North Korea's neighbours.
I wonder. I wonder. Sorry, excuse me, Robert. I wonder if Trump, his credibility is on the line on this too, because it's all very well having these photo opportunities and fist pumps and all that sort of jock sort of behaviour, but you have to come out of this with something concrete, and for it to happen, even a concrete plan's not enough unless it happens. So if we don't see nuclear weapons removed from the peninsula, then the thing's been a flop, hasn't it?
Well, here Mr. Trump said that he's quite happy if North Korea continues the regime of no longer testing nuclear weapons. He points to the fact that North Korea has destroyed a nuclear weapons site, although intelligence analysts say they were going to destroy that anyway because it was redundant. The American intelligence is extremely sceptical about what's happening in North Korea. They are convinced that Kim Jong-un is playing President Trump, and President Trump, who has got some mounting problems, may want this photo opportunity to demonstrate he's effective on the international stage. He's already claimed that if he hadn't taken this initiative, then there would have been war between North Korea and the United States. I mean, that's a pretty far-fetched claim, because it would be suicide for North Korea to get into engaged in any conflict.
I can't believe you don't believe that. I can't believe you don't believe that, Robert. Millions would have died by now, and he saved them. He saved them. I can't believe you don't trust him on this. Anyway, a university academic doesn't trust Trump. Hey, thank you, sir.
Well, you know how sceptical academics are.
I appreciate your time on the program. Good on you, Robert. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Robert Patman, Otago University academic, questioning Donald Trump, probably for the first time in 18 months.